So you are suggesting to find this extraordinary sum of money, this £8 billion, there need be no cuts, no extra taxes. It can all be found within the natural rhythm of the economy?
Well, if and only if you stick to an economic plan that's working. There is a party, the Labour Party, that want to tear up the economic plan that
forgive
has
me,
turned the
I don't
country
really
around.
want to have this time talking about the Labour Party. It's a very important point you just made. As I understand it from what you've just told me, that your commitment to this extra money is only dependent on the economy growing at the rate it is now. If that doesn't happen, how are you going to find the £8 billion? Because you do not know for certain what the economy will be like in that time.
No, we don't, but we can have confidence. There is a party that wants to tear up that economic plan, and in the end, we can make efficiency savings, but we will need more doctors and more nurses to deal with this growing number of older people.
So at best, what you're saying is this is guesswork.
If we tear up, no, it's not guesswork at all. We are absolutely confident and certain. But if you don't want to take that confidence at face value, look at our track record.
Keen to get through some of this territory, and you talk about records there. One of the other pledges you're talking about is in connection with GPs and access to GPs. For older people, you're pledging that within 24 hours they will see a GP. Now, we look at the records on access to GPs, and the figures during your time in government are terrible. The latest figures from the Royal College of GPs says the people who've waited a week or more for an appointment has gone up by 50%. Since 2012. Now, how can you promise almost immediate access to GPs when GPs themselves, I mean, indeed, we spoke to a GP earlier this week who said these kind of promises are just not realistic. They're just numbers you're chucking out.
Well, I don't agree that it's a bad record. We've got 1,600 more GPs during the course of this Parliament. We're saying we'll put in 3 times more money than Labour can, because we know we will stick to an economic plan that's working.
And some people just might be curious, I mean, do you make this stuff up as you go along? Because what was it, only a week ago, NHS was talked about in the leaders' debate, and David Cameron made no mention of this £8 billion figure. I mean, if you just sat back and gone, oh, we've got to make the Labour Party look a bit shabby and up the numbers a bit.
Well, if I may say so, I think that is a little bit disrespectful. And we are waiting for the publication of our manifesto, which is happening next week, to give the financial details of how we will fund the rest of that plan. And that's why it's absolutely right and proper that if we are saying we are committed to Simon Stevens's plan, that we explain how we're going to fund it.
GP Louise Irvine is a candidate standing against Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt on May the 7th.
Well, they've already said that there's going to be £30 billion of so-called efficiency savings over the next 5 years. That is going to translate into frontline cuts, and that's what people are going to feel. Patients are going to feel that. Doctors like myself are going to feel that too. And we don't want to hear all these empty promises. We actually want to hear a commitment to proper funding. Across the board, we do need to fund healthcare more. Anybody who says that they can do this with 22 billion is lying to you. They will not be able to do that. We do need to expend more on health. We can stop wasting money on the market. We can get rid of, renegotiate the PFI deals. We can do something about tax dodging. But before all that kicks in, we're going to have to face the fact that we may have to spend an extra penny in the pound in tax. And that is actually something that many British people are prepared to do.